What's going on, guys? How are you guys doing? Welcome back. And here we are with the shed. And well, at this point, the shed's framed. We have plywood on top, and we're gonna be getting ready now for us to actually start putting our shingles on. Now we have our plywood, and we actually have to box in these edges. I already went ahead and I boxed in the majority of this side. We haven't done the other side, which is be quite interesting because, well, there's another shed next to it and I can't necessarily reach. But let's get to it. I've noticed I haven't done much talking. We're doing a lot of working. We're trying to get things done around here, and while things are getting done, the project has dragged on a little longer than I wanted to, so we're really going to try to kick today to try to get everything ready so tomorrow we can actually be putting out some shingles. And yeah, so all we have for today is we're going to go ahead and we're going to box the edges. We're going to go to the store, we're going to buy our drip edge, put that on, finish any like last little bit of pieces that we may put. I would like to try to put a little finishing trim in the front just so it looks a little aesthetically better. And that's pretty much all I really have planned. So let's go ahead. Let's knock this out. Let's get to it. Let's start boxing some stuff.
What's going on, guys? How are you guys doing? This is Future Justin giving you guys an update. Now I'm finally getting along to finally editing all these videos, and I have a lot of them to edit, and I promise I'm working. Just work with me here. Thank you guys so much for your support. But if you guys recently just saw, we just finished boxing this piece of the shed. And well, it looks good, except now we need to continue boxing the rest of the shed, and we can't because we're fat and there's a shed next to us. So if you remember the beginning, we took everything out of this shed to give us space to work, and we threw it all inside the other shed, which was great. It's given us our space to work, but now we need to actually move that shed for us to actually continue in the roofing process. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna save you guys the pain of watching this, but I'm gonna take everything out of the small shed and bring it back into here just in a clustered mess. And so we can make the shed lighter, and we can hook up the truck and we can pull it. After that, we're gonna continue the next step in the shingling process, which we're gonna have to lay down our drip edge. So basically, it's just an edge that overhangs our current edge. So if our wood ends here, it's just a little edge that sticks past. So whenever it does rain, it can kind of just roll off the edge of our shingles and drip off the edge of that and not the edge of our wood. So now with that being said, let's go ahead, let's skip to some clips where we are pulling the shed that way, making some space, finishing the boxing, and installing some drip edge. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me. Let's get the ball rolling.
Now, in order for us to go create more space, we first have to move the shed. So I first started off, we just use a slip knot here just so we can
be able to adjust, and we first pulled the back of the shed. Once we got the back of the shed pretty much where we wanted to, then we just scooted the knot over to the front. That way we can continue and pull the front of the shed to match the back. Here we cleared about probably another 16 inches or so of space between the two sheds, which gives me the ability now to go ahead and finish working. So the next part, we're going to be installing our face pieces. So these are just pieces that we're putting in the front and the back of the shed, strictly for aesthetic reasons, just so we can have a cleaner edge once we're done. These pieces were cut over just using a little bit of leftover plywood that we had from the roof. Now from here on these face pieces, we're actually going to be installing our drip edge, and this is the plastic piece you can see in my hand. Now this drip edge is just our final edge that we're going to lay our paper on top of after. Now one thing I did learn is if you look in the peak here, I pretty much just butted two of the drip edges together, rather than I should have just cut a slit into one and then overlapped it. That way the peak actually had overlapping pieces and not two pieces butted together. Again, I make these videos so I can learn, you guys can hopefully learn something before you guys do it yourself. Now with the new added space of the shed being moved over, we can go ahead and we can finish boxing the other edge. Now to save you guys the bit, I'm just going to quickly cut through it. All we did was we just boxed the edge of it, then we came back with a flush trim bit on the router so we can evenly cut both the top and bottom. As the shed's not perfectly flat, it's a little warped and such. I mean, this was a bit of using new trusses, old trusses, and things aren't exactly perfect, but it's good enough to get waterproof. Now we're going to go and we're going to apply our felt paper. And the way we're going to do this is we're just going to nail a few at the start. And if you notice here in the very beginning, very quickly, that bottom corner has a huge arch in it. Don't stress it out. Don't worry about the beginning because we can go back and fix that. For now, we just pretty much went very quickly and we just nailed the first probably 5 or 6 tabs in. Then we rolled out the paper all the way to the end. We cut it and nailed it in. Now, if you notice, there's a lot of loose granules, and as me liking my life at least a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and I just knocked it all off with a broom. And this is just to take all the loose sand off. Standing on it was kind of a little slippery, and well, I just went on the side of caution and I knocked it all off. Now from there, we went ahead and we went back to the beginning and we nailed everything from the start to end and made sure all of our nails are good. We also went ahead and we undid the beginning and cut a straight line and make sure that our whole felt paper looked good from here. From here on out, we're going to repeat this 2 more times until we go all the way to the tip of the roof. And then we're ready to start laying down our shingles. The hardest part about the shingling process is just beginning. So we don't want all of our edges to be lined up together. Instead, we want them offset. This is going to help with the waterproofing. If all of our edges are in a direct line, then we pretty much just have one complete area that has no protection from the shingles, and we're relying strictly on our substrates being our felt paper as well as our plywood and or OSB. To start off, we're basically going to cut 6-inch increments. So you're going to cut 6 inches off one tile, 12 off the next, 18 off the next one, and continue until you form a triangle. Now, unfortunately, I didn't record the beginning piece of that, but if you notice, our shingles actually are in an offset pattern as we lay them down. Speaking of nailing, we're going to be putting 6 nails on the windward side, so the side that sees the most amount of wind, and the side that doesn't see as much wind, we're going to be putting 5. Now, this is code for my area. Make sure you understand the code in your area. In worst case scenario, you can always put 6 or 7 nails on both sides, but if you want to save yourselves a little bit of time hammering as well as buying the nails, it's going to be 6 on our windward and 5 on our leeward side. Now from here, our last part of the roof is we're going to apply our ridge caps, and this is going to be the part that pretty much is just the waterproofing between both ends of the shingles. Fortunately, my camera died actually applying them, but here's some video recorded recently of me just of the finished product. Now, our ridge caps are pretty much going to be the top piece, and this is what's going to fully seal our shed.
So there we have it, guys. The entire roof is done, and personally, not to toot my own flute, but I thought it came out looking pretty awesome. I mean, for my first time doing this and really having no idea, other than I watched probably a 6-minute YouTube video and was like, yeah, I could do that myself. And so I ended up doing this. I'm not a professional by any means. If you want some expert and professional advice, you should go contact one. That is not me. I'm just a guy with access to too many tools that probably shouldn't be using them, but I'm doing it anyways. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was a little entertaining. Hope you guys learned something more importantly. And I hope you guys feel more comfortable tackling on something like this. Or you maybe just have a general idea. Maybe you just sound smart in front of your friends. I really don't know. But I've been enjoying the process of recording and kind of playing around with stuff, and we have a lot more things coming for you guys, as well as some of those things are content and some of those things are upgrades. Like for example, the new recorder that I have here. I hope you guys can very easily tell the difference in the audio. I'm enjoying the natural progression of doing the YouTube stuff, from upgrading my equipment to upgrading my skill sets to just being a little more entertaining and remembering to do certain things. I mean, I'm still very new to this, but we're trying out here. I promise the new videos are, I feel, in so much better quality. I feel like everything's getting better, from the new lens that I'm recording on right now to new audio to just having so many access to other things. It's pretty awesome. But the good news is this is it for the side quest. The shed makeover is officially done. Part 3 is the final part. The shed's done. Everything else I kind of do off camera. It's just building shelves and kind of normal boring things to do. But now we have more car things. And as a little side note and a little spoiler, it's not exactly the MR2 we're going to be doing on the next video. It's actually something a lot cooler than the MR2. And it's going to be getting a car and giving it a whole new look in your backyard. And we're talking about backyard paint jobs here. I mean, these are things that we're doing on a budget, as cheap as possible. I'm going to go over some of the tools and equipment I have and how we gave this car a whole new look. And here's just a little spoiler from you guys that I took on my phone. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys had a great time watching this. Please leave a comment down below. I actually love reading your guys' comment. It means you guys are watching the videos, you guys are receptive of the information, and you guys are helping me better myself, whether it be because I'm missing something or just because I just have no idea. But leave it down below. I love reading them, and I can either pin a comment, leave a description, or something like that. But anyways, guys, let's get back to more car things. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Tell me what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for your time. Stay safe.